All right, let's dive right in. We're going to talk about the tech that's quietly, well, remastering our world. And yeah, it might sound super complex, but I promise you, these things are already all around you, changing everything from the car you drive to the AC that's keeping you cool right now.
So, here's a question for you. Kind of sounds like a riddle, right? What do your car, your air conditioner, and a city traffic light all have in common? I mean, what could possibly connect those three things? It feels like there's some kind of invisible thread, doesn't it? Well, stick with me, because by the end of this, you're not just going to know the answer. You're going to see the world around you in a totally new light.
Okay, so the answer really starts here. We are living through this just incredible period of change. It's a time where our digital world and our physical world are starting to blend together in ways we've frankly never seen before.
So what exactly are we talking about here? When we say emerging technologies, we're not just talking about the latest flashy gadget. No. These are entire areas of innovation that are just booming. It's better to think of them less as one single invention and more like these massive currents that are pushing all of technology forward.
And look, this is exactly why it should matter to you. This isn't some abstract sci-fi thing happening in a lab somewhere. We are talking about fundamental changes to the most basic stuff we do every single day. In our lives, in business, how we talk to each other, how we get around.
All right, so let's start connecting the dots. The first big piece of the puzzle is something you've probably heard of, the Internet of Things, IoT. This is the big one. It's all about connecting our physical world to the digital one.
Now, I know the name sounds huge, right? The Internet of Things. But the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. Just picture this. Everyday objects, things all around you, your fridge, your car, your AC. What if they were all connected to the Internet, all talking to each other as part of one giant network?
Okay, so with that picture in your head, this more formal definition is going to make a lot more sense. The Internet of Things is a worldwide network of physical devices, or things, that are wirelessly connected to the Internet, and they can exchange data. But here's the kicker, the really important part. They do it all without any human help. It's totally automatic. They're smart.
So, what does it take to make a regular old object into a smart IoT object? Well, a few key things. First, you've got to embed it with sensors and some software. Then, of course, it needs to connect wirelessly to the Internet. It also has to be able to swap data all on its own, automatically. And last but not least, you need to be able to control it from somewhere else, remotely.
But wait, that brings up a really interesting question, doesn't it? How do these things know what to do? I mean, what makes a smart AC, smart? And that brings us to the brains behind the whole operation, embedded systems.
So an embedded system is basically a tiny little computer that has one and only one job. It's not like your laptop that can browse the web and do spreadsheets and everything else. Nope. This little system is built to do one dedicated task and to do it perfectly. Think about it. Its job might be running your microwave or something way more critical, like deploying an airbag in a car. And when you look at this, you start to see just how surrounded we are by these things. They are the absolute unsung heroes of modern tech. Seriously, think about it. Your car has dozens of them. Your dishwasher has one. They're in absolutely everything, from life-saving medical gear to the Wi-Fi router in your house. These little dedicated brains are literally everywhere, just quietly running the world in the background. Okay, so let's recap. We have billions of smart devices, they've all got these embedded brains, and they're all creating just mountains of data all the time. This creates a huge problem, right? It's like a massive data traffic jam. How in the world do you process all of that information instantly? Well, that brings us to the final piece of our puzzle, the tech that solves this exact problem, edge computing.
Here's a perfect way to think about it, a smart city. Imagine a self-driving car. It can't afford to wait for data to travel hundreds of miles away to some server and then wait for a response before it decides to hit the brakes. No way. That decision has to be instantaneous. And to do that, you need to process the information right there, on the spot, locally.
And that right there is the genius of edge computing. It's a system that brings the number crunching, the processing, way closer to where the data actually comes from. So instead of sending every single piece of information on a long trip to a centralized cloud, it does all the heavy lifting right there, at the edge of the network, right where the action is happening.
This comparison really makes it click, doesn't it? The old way, centralized processing, that's like a long, slow journey for your data. But edge computing? The analysis happens right away, on the spot. It's really the difference between sending a letter in the mail and having a face-to-face, real-time conversation. One is slow, the other is instant.
So there we have it, our 3 key pieces of tech: the connected device, the dedicated brain, and that super-fast local processing. Now, let's put it all together. Let's finally solve that riddle from the beginning.
Let's break down a smart car, for example. The car itself, that's the thing. It's an IoT device, connected to the network. Its brain? Well, that's actually a whole bunch of embedded systems, each one controlling something specific, from the engine to your music. And its speed, that split-second ability to react, that comes from edge computing, processing all that sensor data right then and there.
So here's the main takeaway, the most important thing to remember. IoT, embedded systems, and edge computing, they're not just separate ideas. They're layers. They build on top of each other. You've got the connected thing, its dedicated brain, and its lightning-fast reflexes. That combination is what makes the magic happen. It's what's turning sci-fi stuff like self-driving cars and truly smart cities into our actual reality right now.
And that brings us right back to the beginning. The one thing your car, your AC, and that traffic light all have in common. It's this powerful trio of technologies all working together in the background. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you see how it all connects, and as our world gets more and more connected, what do you think will be the next everyday object around you to get a brain?